Hey guys. All right. I am here. Hey. How's it going? Hey. Day 2. Is this official day 2 of quarantine, or are we counting since Friday? I don't know. Day 2 of when we should be in school, but we're not. So, how's it going? Hey. All right. I'm gonna go over a couple of reviews from yesterday's math, the chapter review, which I know you all did. I know you did it. So let's go over a couple of your favorite parts, the pictures. So let's review some of the pictures, okay? Let's do 13. 13 is drawing a picture to solve multiplying fractions, okay? Now, I know you guys all know the math. That's great. Let's do the math, right? We multiply the numerators and then we multiply the denominators. Boom. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? It's these pesky pictures that you guys absolutely love. It's your favorite. Well, all we're doing is we're taking each fraction and we're splitting up the same box. The first one being 1/2, right? I know I split it in 2 parts because that's my denominator, but I only want one of them, okay? Then I'm gonna get my other color. Now I'm gonna split it by the second fraction, 5/6. Well, I need to split it into 6. 3, 4, 5, but I only want 5 of them. Now it's not this part, that's not 5. We're imagining that when I split it again, that the other one isn't there yet. We're just gonna pretend for now that it's not there. And I want 5 of my new fraction, right? 3, 4, 5, okay? Now is when I'm gonna do both, okay? I'm gonna see how many is this square split up into now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But the color that I wanna take is the one where the red and the blue go together, are overlapped. That's only 1, 2, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's where I get at 5. Now, why am I bothered with the pictures? Well, I want you to understand what it means for now, okay? A lot of times we just spend a little bit of time understanding the pictures and then we can deal with just doing the math. All right? Let's do 25 together. This one is dividing fractions. Okay, remember division is how many times you can group something into something else. How many times can 2/3 go into 4? Well, we gotta start off with our 4, don't we? And I wanna know how many times 2/3 can go into there. Well, it would make sense to split it into thirds because that would help me out so much. And math is always helpful, right? But I don't just want 1 2/3, right? Here's 1, 2, there's 2/3. No, it's how many times can I do 2/3 into all 4 of these? So that's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, and 6 groups. So my answer is 6 times. 6 times 2/3 can go into 4. Now, remember you have to multiply. I don't know if this one tells you to multiply, but let's just do that, okay? Because the previous lesson, it was weird. We were multiplying with the reciprocal and then we were multiplying to check our answer. And if you guys were like my Brayden at home, he's just getting them all mixed up, okay? So I'm gonna drill into you when we're multiplying to check our answer for division, it's always the same. It's always the quotient times the divisor. We don't change it, we just leave it how it is, And that should equal our dividend. Well, let's see if it does. 6 times 2 is 12. Remember, we pretend when we have a whole number that 1 is underneath. So it's like 1 times 3, right? That's 3. I gotta change that. 12 divided by 4 is, look at that, matches up perfectly. Perfectly. All right, let's move on to today's lesson. We are into our new packet. Your new packet is already in your binder. It's in your math section. Remember, we passed those out on Thursday, okay? So, let's start. We're doing decimals now. Now, decimals is the same as a fraction. It's just written in a different form, okay? A fraction is a part of a whole. It's not a whole part, it's part of a whole. Well, that's what a decimal is. Think about money, right? If you have 50 cents, do you have a whole dollar? No, you have part of a dollar. Okay, so fraction, decimals is the same thing. It's part of a whole. So, if I had 0.1, now remember our decimal placings? This is 1 when you go to the left of the decimal, but we don't go to ones, do we? No, it goes into tenths. So our first placing is tenths. Now to write that in fraction form, how many do I have? I have 1. What spot is it in? The 10th spot. 10. 1/10. There you go. If I was going to do this, this is the tenths, hundredths. How many do I have? I still only have 1, but I'm in the hundredth spot, okay? So we know this if you guys look on there. I'm not going to write it out, but if you look on there, it has it. It's like drawing out a block and splitting it up into 10. That I can do quicker, right? You're splitting it into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm running out of space. 8. Let's split this one. 9, 10. Whew. But I only want 1 of them. 1 out of 10. Okay? This one would be, imagine this split up into hundredths, and you only have 1 little square. Okay? They have a picture on 297 for you that explains that. Okay? Now, why are the pictures important? Because you need to understand what it is so that we can grow and build and start working more on perimeter and area and volume and things like that. Okay? So, pictures are important. All right, let's just get into it. Number 1. Number 1, they show you a picture, don't they? They have it written out. They have it drawn out. Well, it's broken up into hundredths already. So already, they want you to write it in fraction form as well as decimal form, right? Decimal form or fraction form. Well, let's see. I have, there's 100 blocks, but how many are colored? Well, if you count them out, 2 whole rows, that's 20, and then only 8 in the other. So, 28 are colored. Well, I need to make sure, oh, that's confusing. I'm gonna do this. There we go. 28 of them are colored purple. Well, there's 100 total. See, 28, and this is in the 100 spot. We're dealing with 100, and I have 28 of them. Sometimes doing the, to me, sometimes doing the fraction form is easier first and then putting it into decimal form, but we'll see, okay? Let's keep going. Let's do number 3. I'm gonna go like this, you guys, so it's easy. 3 is, it looks like it's split into tenths, right? So I already know I'm gonna have a 0 here because I'm not talking about a whole. So if it's split into 10, I know I'm going to only land in the 10th spot. See that? That's the 10th spot. How many are colored orange? 7 of them. So I have 7 tenths. Okay? All right. Number 5. Oh, it looks like it's split into, automatically do that. Sorry, do that. Automatically it's split into hundreds. So I know there's my tenths, hundreds. I'm gonna land right here. How many are colored purple? Looks like all of them but 2. So that would mean 98 are colored, which means I have 98 1/100ths. I'll erase this. Sometimes the line helps me to show where I'm supposed to end up in my decimal, okay? All right. Now they give you the fraction form and they want you to write it in decimal form, okay? So for number 7, the fraction form is 8/10. Well, this is why I like to write the line, because I always start off with 0. You have to put your 0 if you don't have a whole number, if you're talking about decimals, okay? This, you guys need to get in the habit of that, okay? If you have decimal form and you do not have a whole number, you need to put 0, okay? Don't do this. Please don't do this. Just like that, okay? You need to have a 0 in there. But we're talking about tenths. The first place value is tenths. So I just put my 8 there. See, 8/10, okay? Number 9. I'm gonna erase this to help. You guys can always pause it, which is nice if you're, okay? But I don't wanna go too low on my board. Let's do number 9 together, okay? 9 is 47 1/100ths. Well, I start off with my 0, decimal, and I know I have 47. Did I land in my hundredth spot? Yes, tenths, hundredths, boom. Beautiful. I'm gonna do number 10 with you guys, because this one, 10 is a little tricky, okay? 10 is, we have 19 1/1000ths. Automatically put a 0, decimal, okay? But look what my denominator is. It's thousandths. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. That means I need this 9 to be in the thousandth spot, which means the 1 has to be here. So what has to go right here? You have to put a 0 there, okay? Make sure that when you're writing your fraction, because it's very easy to go like this. Well, that's only 10/1900ths. Oh, well then you say, oh, well then I need a 0. Very different, isn't it? If I added a 0 here, that's 190 thousandths, okay? So, make sure that you know what place value you need to end up in, and that's where this needs your, well, what would be the ones? This needs to go here, okay? And sometimes you need to fill in zeros before the number, not after, but before, okay? All right. Now let's go in reverse. 11. They give you the decimal form, right? And they want you to do the fraction form. Well, that's easy enough, because look, we have 7, not 1/10ths, but 7/100ths, and I only have 7 of them, okay? See, this is the same thing here. We don't normally write 7 like that, do we? No, but when we do a decimal, we do. Because you have to fill in the correct place values. Oops, I erased some. Before, okay? All right, 13. Let's see, they give you 80 hundredths, right? Tenths, hundredths. I like to do my denominator first. Hundredths, and I have 80 of them. Boom, very nice. 15. Let's see. 125 thousandths, right? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. How many do I have? 125. All right. Not too complicated, okay? The trickiest part is making like this kind of thing. Making sure you don't tack your 0 on at the end to try to fill in your place value. Okay, it's like you gotta scooch it over and put your 0 here. Because this number, whatever is in the last, needs to be in the correct spot, okay? All right, so, the next page, 298, is very similar. There's nothing new, except for the place value chart, filling in the missing labels, and then writing 274 thousandths. I want you guys to try that on your own. If you have questions, ask your parents, have them email me, okay? But I know you guys can do this, okay? Oh, let's do a couple renaming. Okay. Let's start with 30. It's in the renaming section, okay? 39. You guys, they want you to rename. They say if 5/10 equals 50 hundredths, and that then, okay, then they say, then 5/10 equals, oh, they want me how many thousandths? All right, so let's write this out in fraction form. 5/10 equals, wait, no, I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it decimal form. Sorry, guys. I have 5/10, right? That's the same thing as 50 hundredths. See how now I'm in the hundredths, but I just added a 0? So, if I kept the 5 in the same spot, and now I want thousandths, how many thousandths? Am I in the thousand spot? Yes, 10 hundred thousandths. How many thousandths do I have? I have 500. Boom. Not too bad. Okay? Sometimes writing it out in decimal. You can add as many zeros you want after, and it doesn't really change the value. It's the same thing. Okay? Because you're breaking up the fraction and you're adding more of them. All right? So let's do 41 together. There are some fractions. There are some fractions that you guys need to get used to. Okay? 1/4 is like 25 cents. Okay, groups of 25. 0.25. There are things you just need to get used to. Okay, so if 1/4 equals 0.25. Now we know this because I always think of quarters. If you have 4 quarters, but you only have 1, how much do you have? You have 25 cents, right? 1 out of 4. Okay, we know this. So if that's the case, then 1/4 also equals how many, they wrote thousands like this. Well, look, this is 25 hundredths. What do I need to do to this to make it thousands? It's the same thing as before, you just add a 0 to the end. So now it's 250 thousandths. Ding, ding. Very good. All right, guys. Last but not least, 42. And then I'll let you go to finish up today's lesson. All right, explain how 0.2, 0.02, and 0.002 are different. Well, if you look, 0.2, 0.02, 0.002, where is the 2? Look, see how it's in the tenth slot? Now it's in the hundredths, and now it's in the thousandths. The value, the place value of 2 is different. So we can say the 2 has a different, well, they say the 2 has a different value based on its place in the number. Well, I would say the 2 is in a different place value. So we write the 2 is in a different place value, right? And that changes the number. Okay. Right? Okay. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't know if I'm too close or not, but I know you guys can do this. Tomorrow is, what's tomorrow? Oh, rounding decimals. I'll do a little video, post that tomorrow. I have Prince Warriors, so I'm gonna read the next chapter and post that video later so you guys can listen to it. And yeah, I hope you guys are being safe, enjoying. Let's see, today for English, I think is just today I think is the chapter review. I'm not sure, but you guys should be good about that. The chapter review, remember to look back through your packet to remember how to do that. Today's either the chapter review or cumulative review. Man, I cannot remember. But then we go into our writing assignment for compare and contrasting My Side of the Mountain and Island of the Blue Dolphins, okay? That I know you guys can do well, all right? Love you guys, I miss you. Man, we still have a long time, okay? All right.